What a crazy day on the Big Brother 26 live feeds with some crazy eyes and a lot of fights. We got to roast it. We got to recap it. So grab a beverage. Hopefully, you're wearing something comfy. And let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want. Cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and Big Brother superfan Joleen Lunzer here for the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene. And you know how we have to start the show on this Saturday night. Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Jolene. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Jolene. That's me. Welcome back, everybody, to my channel. Make sure you smash that like if you haven't already. Let's set a like goal for 600. Today, we're going to be talking about everything crazy, cuckoo bananas that happened on the Big Brother 26 live feeds today, Saturday the 20th, and also a little bit of last night, Friday the 19th. And please, you guys, sound off in the live chat. Let me know all your hopes, thoughts, dreams, and opinions. You guys know me. If you don't, I'm very opinionated, but that doesn't mean you can't have a different opinion and share that in the live chat or the comment section after the video posts. Also, if you want to support the channel, you know the drill. Like, subscribe. You can also send a super chat while we're live. I'll highlight your comment. You can send a super thanks after the video posts. You can join my YouTube membership or my Patreon, or hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. None of that is necessary, but if you want to, the options are there. All right, you guys, how is everyone doing on this Friday night? Jippity Bippity says, if only there was a way to sync up so Jolene is live while the feeds are down. That would actually be perfect. I did again start following the Twitter account that has the updates on the feeds. And they tell you when they're down and when they come back up, how long they were down. It's a pretty cool account. I forgot the name of it, but something to have to do with feeds. So thank you, Dana, for becoming a new member of the channel. Appreciate that. Welcome to the Lean team. You guys, we have so much to talk about today. I want to know what you guys think. We're going to make fun of it. We're going to have some laughs. Today was an insane day on the Big Brother live feeds. Some on Twitter, and I've seen some people on YouTube say that old school Big Brother's back. Janelle herself, we know Janelle, BB6, BB7, BB14, the other season we never talk about of BB, the All Stars, the Small Stars season. She tweeted that. And that is because Angela. Now, if you watched my last Big Brother Breakdown, we talked about Angela. Obviously, we're only 5 days into this season. But Angela, the 50-year-old mom from Utah, I had predicted she was probably going to start having some paranoia type breakdowns, emotional, early preseason. We all thought that she was probably going to have tears for years, a lot of tears. And sure enough, we were right. Angela has made, love her or hate her, Angela is making the season entertaining. Now, how long will this be entertaining before it is disturbing? I don't know. I can't predict that. But all I will say is I very much enjoyed the Angela show today. Okay. So we got to talk about everything that she did, everything that went on here. Let me just make sure that my stuff is on for my live. And I really want to know what you guys think of all this, because it was indeed very, very, very crazy, crazy, crazy. Mandy Jane, how late are you? You are not late at all. We are just getting started. We are just having some fun. So you are not late at all. Okay. So here's what we got going on. A little brief recap of what's happening. Angela, who I was just talking about, and let me pull up my my thing here. So Angela is the HOH, okay? And Angela nominated 3 people because we have, some weird things happening and some Big Brother veto arena. We got America's veto, which we'll get into. So Angela needed 3 nominees. So she nominated, you'll see it on the bottom row here, Chemo, Lisa, and Kenny. Kenny the cop, Lisa the chef, the quirky LA, like it's all vibes. Just put your feet into like the dirt and feel the soil, baby. And then Chemo, our Hawaiian friend, who Chemo said he was going to bring the drama, but so far he hasn't brought any drama. But I do like him. He's very adorable and very sweet. But I think his parents might have told him more than what we saw in the episode. Remember when Chemo's mom was like, don't share your clothes with anybody? I think she also meant don't share your thoughts with anybody. Don't really talk to anybody, because Chemo wasn't speaking for very long. Like, there was quite a bit of time where I was like, is Chemo in the house? Is he okay? Luckily now, having watched the feeds for well over 24 hours, I have seen Chemo speak. Chemo is a more active participant in the house, and he is quite lovely. All right. Now, after Angela made her nominations, after she put up those three on the block, she just was, I mean, she was just very emotional. You know, it seemed like we spent most of the feeds last night just having people have to comfort Angela. And I almost wanted to remind her, baby girl, you're in control. You're in the driver's seat. You got the power. And it just seemed like everyone was, you know, I mean, it's the first HOH. You're putting people on the block. Her target was Kenny. She used Chemo and Lisa as, you know, pawns. More so Chemo as a pawn. Lisa, if you go, I guess you go. But really, she was looking to target Kenny. But Angela just couldn't let go of that bone, I guess. She just was room to room, just like, I just had to nominate somebody. I just had to nominate. I just feel so bad. And people are like, don't feel bad. Enjoy. Well, I just had to nominate somebody. I just had to nominate somebody. And I'm like, okay, we get it, Angela. By the end of the night, though, you could see, by the end of last night, we could see that Angela was unraveling in a way that was going to be historic. And by the time I woke up this morning, it was. Okay. But also on the feeds last night was we finally get to a little more of the specifics, or at least I did, because I didn't know the specifics of this America's veto power that Mackenzie has. Because the two upgraded powers, Mackenzie has one of them. They're calling her MJ in the house. Sometimes Matt, who's supposed to be her showman's best friend in the house, calls her Michaela, because he can't be bothered to remember her name. And then Quinn has the other upgrade. So she has what's called America's veto. And she admitted this to Leah and Matt. And they seemed pretty tight last night. I mean, there is this weird relationship between Leah and Mackenzie, where Mackenzie doesn't really like Leah. She doesn't really trust her. But when the three of them hang around, it's like the most awkward threesome you've ever watched. And again, I haven't watched a lot of threesomes or any, but I assume they'd all be awkward. But this is awkward with no genitals. Okay. And so they were talking and sharing, and Angela was like, oh, I got, or not Angela, I'm sorry. Mackenzie was like, I got the power. And Leah's like no way. Like, I love Leah, but the girl says like a comma. She's Cody cauliflower liking when she's talking. Everything is like, and she talks a lot. Okay. She has a lot to say, which is great. But when you're watching the feeds, as much as I'm watching the feeds, or some of you are watching the feeds, it's things like that you pick up on that you're like, oh, yes. And the likes are painful. I want to love Leah. I want to fall in love with her. I want to root for her. I want our little VIP cocktail waitress to go, down in history like Janelle and Rachel. But the likes are, they're grating. They're a lot. And she's always talking. She has a story for everything. Some of her stories are great. Some of her stories are about bats. It's hit or miss with Leah. So Mackenzie was sharing that she has this America's veto, and they're like, oh my God. So apparently she has 4 weeks to use this. This is a one-time thing where Mackenzie can take someone off the block. Okay. She can take one of the nominees down. And then instead of the HOH putting up the new nominee, selecting who will go in their place, America, us, not Corey's girlfriend, but us, we decide who goes up. So she's got 4 weeks to use this. She might want to use it this week. Kind of hope she doesn't. But, we'll see. We'll see. So that was just a little bit of clarity around that power that I appreciated. But so far, Mackenzie, I think, has only shared it with Leah and Matt. So there has, ever since, or when I started watching the feeds, obviously, we didn't get first night feeds. So there was some time the house guests had where the feeds weren't on. And apparently there was a situation where on day one, I believe that they were all together. Angela made a comment to Matt and Mackenzie that they would make a cute couple or something, insinuating they were in a showmance or liking each other. And that didn't sit well with Matt, allegedly, and also Mackenzie. So there's been a lot of talk about between them, saying, why would she say that? And then Angela overthinking it and talking about it. And then Angela thinking Matt doesn't like her, and Matt thinking Angela doesn't like him. And it was just a lot. And this is going to lead up to this big fight that happened at 8 a.m. this morning. No rest for the fiery mom, the 50-year-old. So last night, not only was Angela, paranoid, she was like, you gotta pick someone to put up. And everyone was kind of reassuring her and just being pretty kind to her, just like rubbing her back, like, it's okay, calling her mama, which gave me, it reminded me of the, what was it? Mother God. If you saw the HBO documentary, Mother God, cult, about the cult, it gave me that vibe when they're like, mom said, mom. And I was like, she's not your mom. I don't know. Unless I came out of your vagine or you adopted me with papers, I'm not calling you mom. That's just how it goes. I don't even call my mom. We call her Nana. But sometimes I do call her mom. But it was just weird. But I guess Angela liked this. Now they've kind of tempered off of calling her mom, but that was a whole thing. So there's already this tension between Angela and then Matt and Mackenzie. And Matt and Mackenzie were feeling pretty good last night. Matt, Mackenzie, and Leah were just like boom, boom, pow. Lots of, early game kind of naivety. Speaking about like, when we get to jury, it's like, bro, it's day 5. Can we calm it down? Calm your game boners. You got a long way to go. And half of you people can't even remember. Matt doesn't even remember Mackenzie's first name. He calls her Michaela half the time. So I don't know. So lots of, but this is par for the course. Like, this is what happens in Big Brother is we hear people, a couple days in go, okay, then we're gonna get to jury, then we'll get to the end, then we're sitting next to each other. And Matt was giving me, I wasn't loving Matt. He seemed to be in this, again, this is my opinion. You're welcome to have yours. You can like Matt. That's not a wrong, it's not a wrong thing. You can like who you like. I just wasn't enjoying him because as much as he was trying to stray away from like, I'm not a bro, I'm not like a regular guy, I'm like different. Apparently he was like a pastor for 4 years and he has all these stories. And I'm like, okay, great. That's nice. But he just seemed to really believe his own hype. I kind of got those vibes from him. So I wasn't like really, I wasn't enjoying him too much, and then him and Mackenzie is like, I told you guys on the last update, but Mackenzie's messy. All right. She's very, I did not think she was going to be this outspoken, but she is messy. She's got a lot of opinions. She early on, as soon as Angela became HOH, started saying, we got to do something about Angela. Like, she was already talking shit and talking about taking out the HOH while she's still HOH. You might want to wait until she doesn't have power this week. And that's after the POV ceremony. And then the HOH's job is done. You know what I mean? But as long as she can nominate and then renom with the POV or win the POV, you probably want to play it cool, play it nice. Mackenzie was like, not doing that. Yeah, pastor bro. He's like, I was a pastor for 4 years, so I know how to talk to people. So I know that I wouldn't talk poorly. What is that movie? Point Break? Is that what it is with Keanu Reeves? I am an FBI agent. That's how he talks sometimes. More and more, he's reminding me of Brody Jenner in a lot of ways. In a lot of unfortunate ways. Erg Coke says, I don't like Mackenzie's face making. She doesn't make a lot of faces. She has a lot of opinions. She makes a lot of faces. But I will say so far this cast, very, very, very entertaining. Very, very entertaining. Okay. Okay. But but when did Matt threaten Angela? Well, threaten, I would say, Brayden, is when we hear threaten outside of like the Big Brother walls, we're like, did he threaten to hit her, beat her up? Like, what? No. The threatening part, allegedly, Angela feels as though, so it all comes down to at 8 a.m., Angela came downstairs and started verbally accosting, verbally smacking Matt from the staircase. She's on the staircase. She goes, Matt. And she just goes on this diatribe about, I bet you think you did something. You're so proud of yourself. If you guys missed it, I did a little parody of it in a separate video. I've watched it so many times. It's so entertaining. And she's calling him out because she said, he came in my HOH room and he threatened me. And I guess she felt as though he delivered it in a threatening way, in a way that's like, well, you're not going to put me up on the block, because if you do, first of all, I'm well liked, I'm hella liked, and I'll take myself off and I'll come after you. Okay. Which is like, I mean, it's pretty standard in Big Brother. Again, I wouldn't say that to the HOH while she has power in front of her. That's probably very poor for the social game, very poor strategy there. So Angela has not liked the way Matt delivers things. Now, I will say, after Matt was accused of this by Angela, and Angela was telling people the night before that he did this, so this wasn't sitting well with her. She actually went and told Tucker, aka Tucker Carlson. She went and told him, and he was like, oh, you know what? I'm not even like scared of that guy at all. If I need to, I'll knock him out. Because again, the way Angela is saying he said it makes it seem like he was like, yeah, old lady. Like maybe it's just me, but it seems a lot more aggressive or just kind of scarier than it probably was. Was Matt probably cocky and did say technically like threaten her, like, you put me up, I'll put you up, and I got people that have my back and all this stuff. Angela was definitely what's the word, embellishing. She was embellishing. It might have made her feel that way, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was as scary as she says it was, but that's how it made her feel. Okay. But then after Matt's accused of this, and we'll get more into the, what she said and that whole thing, he then goes, and immediately they start thinking somebody put this in her head. Somebody is, putting these ideas to Angela, stirring the pot. And a lot of eyes, mostly Mackenzie's, have been pointed at Joseph. Joseph is a friend to most in the game. He's seen wheeling and dealing, moving, because a lot of these players are playing. We're 5 days in and they're playing the game. And Joseph is one of them. And Mackenzie is not trusting him. And so then Matt believes that Joseph is the one that was stirring the pot, going up there, getting Angela riled up, because Angela was already paranoid and she's sleep deprived, which she has said 100,000 times in the last 24 hours. She's like, I just haven't had any sleep. I'm so sleep deprived. I can't make a sentence. I'm so sleep deprived. I'm sleep deprived. So she's very sleep deprived. So they feel like Joseph was stirring the pot. Joseph made her do this, which isn't true. And so Matt decides, after being accused of threatening Angela in the game with game stuff, he then threatens Joseph. Joseph comes back to that first bedroom. I call it the Tiffany Mitchell bedroom. He comes back to the Davon bedroom, or the Tiffany bedroom, and he is like, hey guys, what's up? Joseph with his mustache, like, I work at a video store. What's going on, guys? What you guys doing? And Matt's like, hey, are you behind this? Are you behind? Are you behind what Angela did? Do you know about this? Joseph's like, dude, no, I didn't even know. I don't even know. I didn't know what you're talking about. They're like, okay, because if you are, that's really messed up. Okay. And I'm just going to let you know, like, I'm not going to mess with you outside of the house. I'm going to have a problem with that, because she brought up my mom. Because in this conversation, in this speech that Angela gave to the house, in this house meeting, she called at 8 a.m. the moment she woke up, which she said she didn't even sleep much. She just closed her eyes a little bit. And you can see on the feeds throughout the night, she would be closing her eyes, and then she would just wake up and go, yes, that's what I'm going to say to him. She was rehearsing lines for this speech where she goes, Matt, you think you're pretty great. Bet you think you did something coming after a lady who's twice your age, thinking you coming after a grandma. Well, lucky for me, Matt, this is great, because you're making me look cool to my grandkids if you think that I'm a problem. So she has this, Hype Man Husband Shell had sent it to me in a text, and like all the wording, it's like, Matt, you must be so proud of yourself. I mean, really, taking advantage of this situation. You are literally taking advantage of a woman twice your age who is sleep deprived and had a responsibility beyond matter. Which I'm like, beyond matter. Okay. You were able to single-handedly turn this freaking house upside down against this person. I am so flattered that I'm a threat to you, Matt. I am so freaking flattered. Do you know how much that makes me look like a badass to my grandkids? It's awesome, Matt. It's awesome. She's like, thank you, crazy eyes. And she kept calling him crazy eyes. And he's like, what do you mean crazy eyes? What are you talking about crazy eyes? She's like, it's you, Matt. Oh, you thought my eyes are crazy or you're crazy because they're crazy? Matt did not understand the crazy eyes all while he was doing this. And she was like, you're crazy eyes. And she pulled her eyes apart. It was so intense, so entertaining, so ridiculous, so iconic. It was all of the things you want to see in Big Brother. Just unhinged, good, fun feeds. All right. So she's like, I'm flattered that I'm a threat to you. I'm so freaking flattered, Matt. Do you know how much of a badass this makes me look to my grandkids? It's awesome, Matt. Thank you, crazy eyes. You have freaking crazy eyes. And everyone's like, what is she? Because at first she comes on the stairs and she's clapping for herself, like a slow clap, like. And then everyone else, like Tucker's like, okay, yeah, Angela, get it. Because they thought she was going to come down and announce the POV. We got our noms. We know the POV competition is on Saturdays. We're going to pick players. Let's go. And oh, no. She was just slow clapping for her own speech. So she's like, you have freaking crazy eyes. And for the house, for this beautiful wonder group of people, and for the visitors that came to visit me last night, your performance was great. Great. It was absolutely great for a low budget movie. And she was practicing this line in her sleep in bed for a low budget movie. She's like, yeah, you got it. Yeah, Angela. Yeah, you're good, Angela. In between tears and tossing and turning and not sleeping, she came up with this line that they were acting, that everyone's trying to pull the wool over her eyes. There's this giant alliance happening. Matt and Mackenzie are doing something, but mostly Matt. And, he just thinks she's like a stupid old lady, and he's changing his mind between, she's determining it on what Kenny says to her and brings Matt up. And then Matt seemed to be pulling to keep Kenny, but then all of a sudden he talks to Lisa and she sees him talking to Lisa, who's on the block. And then she's like, Lisa turned him. Lisa got him. Lisa got him. So she's just pinballing, like ping-ponging back and forth all night last night with these crazy scenarios of paranoia. It was very Frenchie, but less disturbing, more entertaining. Frenchie's was just like, what in the Dr. Pepper is going on? Where Angela's was like, this is a study in psychology and entertainment. Okay. So then she says, I have not been myself. I haven't thought clearly. I haven't been able to remember people's names. I haven't been able to remember people's names. No, I already said that. I haven't been able to remember the last conversation I had. I'm not able to remember sentences that are being said right in front of my face. I can't remember shit because I'm so sleep deprived. But that's it. I blame myself. You guys. I love all of you. I really, truly, truly do. And I was having the best time of my life up until after everyone left my room after I won HOH. But with that being said, I would love for the house guests to know how crazy eyes, how he is very aggressively, Matt, threatened me verbally in my room, in our one-on-one. This man right here that you guys all know and love, this cocky, crazy boy who says he's got everyone in his back pocket. Yeah, you said that, Matt. Yeah, you did. You said that. Oh, yeah, you did. And then, Angela said, he said, I'd so like to run the house. Like, everybody loves me. I'm so great. Everybody loves me. Oh, yeah. And then he tells me, you put me up? Now, I'm twice his age. Remember, she keeps reminding everyone, I'm twice his age. I am twice this man's age. I'm twice his age. Okay? I could be his mother. Maybe I am. I don't know. I want to enjoy it. You put me up. And I am so well liked in this house that somebody will take me down. If not myself, And then when I am down, you better believe. And she hit a note. She hit a high note. You better believe. You better believe. We'll probably see. I hope we'll see it in tomorrow night's episode. He said, you better believe you're going on the block. I love all of you. I'm a little hyped. I'm sorry. I'm a little hyped. Okay, I'm not normally like this. She kept telling us, she's not normally like this. Then Matt is like this. He's in the chair like this. He literally is leaning back. He has a hat on. He's just like, I said, me? What's she going crazy at? What's she saying? And it's like, it's you. Hi, it's you. Hi, you're the problem too. And then Matt yells out, you can't go on the block. You're the HOH. And she's like, I'm not done. She yells over Matt as he's like, logistically, like logically, it doesn't make sense. And she's like, I'm not done. And then Matt just says, this doesn't make any sense. Angela says, I'm a little hyped. I'm so sorry. Because I freaking love you. And okay, if this is it for me, I've had my time. I've had the time of my life, okay? And that's truly what I wanted. And I already know I have genuine people in this room, okay? I just know it because you were that way to me before I won HOH. And I want you to know that I'm thankful for that. I am thankful for that. But there's still a lot of game left. There's a couple games today, and she looks over at Matt, and then there's a couple games next week. So you don't know who I have, Matt. And Matt's like he's just, what? And you know what? I would like to go back to where I was. I'm a little heated right now. I'm a little hot. I'm a little flashy. Anyone else's boobs sweating? Just mine? Okay. I might have added that. Okay. I really hope I'm not making you guys feel some sort of way. It's like, but you are. But you definitely are. Everyone was like, I mean, Brooklyn's in a towel, like the super Christian mother, Mrs. America's like, I guess I gotta just come out in this towel. And like Rubina's back there doing her makeup. Mackenzie's back there kind of laughing at first, like, what? In the bathroom. Soon they come out because then it escalates to then she goes from the stairs delivering the speech a la Evita to now being one of us, you know? And so I just want to go back to where I was. Like, I hope I don't make you guys feel some sort of way. Like I'm mad at any of you because I am not mad at you. I want to go back to just being Angela. Yeah. And take my power back and be happy. I just want to be happy. Because I don't know who that woman was last night. She's talking about herself and being so emotional. I don't know her. And it was sad. It was sad. It was so sad. And I was like, why? People shouldn't let people predict how they feel. That's something that we can control. But I need you guys to know. Okay? I need you guys to know. With that being said, who you're following, who you're letting lead this house, I still want to continue relationships with every single one of you. And what I was doing yesterday with my HOH was trying to get the majority of the house. It's going to be out anyway. So I was trying to get the majority of the house. I want the majority of the house to be happy. I see someone posted in my comments when she said, I just want them to be happy. It was like that scene from Mean Girls. They said when the guy yells at the bag, goes, you don't even go here. And that girl's like, I just want everyone to hold hands and be friends and spend rainbows. And they're like, you don't even go here. And she's like, I don't. I just have a lot of feelings. That's what it did feel like that. She said, because I'm a people pleaser. And I'm that to a fault. And I came in here telling everybody that and wanting to do that. I'm sorry, I screwed up. You guys are awesome. You got me. I'm not a game player. I came into this because it was a dream. And it's okay if I leave. Because it was. I got my dream. And then she's like, I want to continue to just have fun with all of you. Except for Matt. Don't you freaking talk to me. And then she points over to him. And then it trickles down into, she walks down the stairs. And then he's kind of confronting her. She walks up to him. And here's a point where some of the guys in the house had a problem with Matt's reaction. So as she's walking up to Matt, he's sitting at the dining room table or at that kitchen table. And she's walking up to him and then he stands. He gets up. And the guys took that Tucker especially took that as a sign of aggression. Like, what do you like? Are you bucking up to a chick? Like, why are you getting out of your chair for? I don't know. I watched that, and it's hard to say. I could see what he's talking about, but it's also like it didn't. Maybe I gotta watch it again. It didn't. He wasn't like this. He stood up. Maybe he was unsure. Is she gonna punch me? I don't know. Maybe he thought I need to be standing up. She's coming toward me. I probably would stand up too. Uh, I probably would, but it didn't seem like he was gonna like it. To me, it didn't seem like there was any violence that was gonna go down. Okay. But so then but then soon he's like, okay, he kind of leans back, leans on the wall. He takes a position that, looks like it's not threatening, you know? So then they're going back and forth. She tells him everything he says is shit. Whatever you say is shit, Matt. So put it back in your ass. And everyone's like, ooh. And then Matt's like, what did I do? What can someone explain to me? Tucker, can someone tell me how I threatened this woman? Like what I did? She's like, oh, clearly you're not listening to me, Matt. You're not listening. You're such an idiot. And everyone's like, ooh. She called him an idiot. And he was like, and then someone tried to explain it. Like she said that you said that, if you put me up, I got the votes and I will put you up and I'll come after you. And it was just like such a hot mess. Jackson says she's not going to punch him. She's going to grab his leg. Who knows? I mean, listen, if someone is saying mad at me and like walking toward me, I'm probably going to stand up just in case I got to run. I got to hide. I don't know. I do get though, when they say that Matt he is kind of aggressive, and he did admit that in his past he was very aggressive like that, and had this happened a couple years ago, he would have reacted very differently. And just like I said, after this situation, he immediately goes and kind of attacks Joseph with no proof or anything. So, I mean, to disprove that you are someone that just goes up and threatens people in the house, you probably shouldn't then immediately after being accused go and threaten someone, being Joseph. So it's just like, oh my goodness. Sorry, what picture do you want to put up? Do you want a picture of the scene? Because I can give you the scene of the crime here. So let's see. Here's one of them when they're talking. By this time, Mackenzie, T-Core, and Brooklyn are out of the bathroom. Actually, I think T-Core was already out of the bathroom, but Mackenzie, Brooklyn, and Rubina are. And so as you can see, Brooklyn's there with a damn towel. Just like, and Matt's kind of leaning his elbow on that little, mirror windowsill. So, yeah, you got to get ready to run away from crazy. That was a fast turn for the production. It was like, we need to get them. Did they finally get them outside? Okay, good to know, because obviously I'm not watching the feeds right now as I talk to you guys. But yeah, okay, they have the outside. Thank you, Joseph. So they're outside, which is probably great, because hopefully Angela's in bed, though. Something tells me she won't. She won't be in bed. So they're going back and forth. Angela she's like, I need a water. She grabs a cup of water and she's drinking her water. And she's just like, you're shit, Matt. You're shit. And then Matt brings up, so here's where Matt's mom gets involved. As they're kind of going back and forth, Matt brings up, because she keeps saying, I'm old enough to be your mom. I'm double your age. And he says, well, my mom is I'm paraphrasing, but like, my mom is going to see this. My mom's going to see you doing this. Like, this isn't a good look, Angela. And Angela's like, yeah. And she's going to be disappointed in you and what a bratty son she raised. And after this, Matt takes this thing she says and he's tears. How could you talk about my mom? And it's like, well, technically you brought up your mom. She just said she was old enough to be your mom. You actually brought your real mom into the conversation, if we want to get technical. And then he's kind of using this, I think. Well, I think after getting accosted like this in front of the whole house, I'm sure his ego is bruised. He probably does have his feelings hurt. He probably I don't know. I'm speculating at this point, but maybe he doesn't realize the way in which he delivered the information to Angela, or how she took it and how he gave it. He didn't think it was like that. He's also, by his own admission, trying to run from this like previous guy he used to be, this kind of bro, aggro, and he's not that anymore because he was a pastor for 4 years and he knows how to talk to people. But he immediately like crumbles, like, so he's going around the house and crying to everyone and talking to people. And Angela is almost like, she's almost in full, I want to bully this man mode at this point. I don't know if I would go and say she's bullying him, but she feels as though she didn't stand her ground when she first had this issue with Matt by calling out him and Mackenzie's possible showmancer connection. She's like, this man had me in the HOH room and had me apologizing for 30 minutes straight. It's like, well, yes, but Angela, from the feeds I watched, she kept saying she wanted to apologize to them. She seems to kind of go back and forth on this. And so she did apologize. Is he cocky? Is he annoying? Sure. But I don't think anyone made you apologize to him. But Angela says, she's bringing, that's the thing with the house guests. They all bring stuff from their background. He's bringing his own issues he has with previously being kind of like an aggro aggressive and not wanting to judge a book by its cover. Like, just because I got the abs, don't judge me. I'm sensitive. I was a pastor. And she's bringing, in the past, how men have talked to her. She's like, I won't be talked to like that again. They're all sleep deprived. They haven't seen the sun. So they're all going cuckoo bananas. And Angela is the cuckoo bananaist at this point. So as he's crying around the house, like seemingly trying to stay away from her, but also probably get some sympathy and try to save his game, salvage it, because he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Because you would think most people would, when something like this happens, we rarely get the younger people, or even we rarely get anyone, well, I shouldn't say rarely, because Paloma or whatever her name was, when she was freaking out, she got a lot of sympathy. But I thought this was going to go very different for Angela. And I thought that the house guests were just going to be like, oh, but it seemed like she garnered a lot of sympathy, because even the other dude bros like Tucker hates Matt. Apparently Matt tried to talk to Tucker while he was taking a dump and talk game with him. And Tucker is going to hold that against him for the rest of his life. I thought, that was a little weird to me, but they look like two dudes that have discussions with their friends while on the toilet. That's just what they look like. I didn't make the rules. That's what they look like. But Tucker was like, nah, I don't like that guy. Yeah. So he's not totally feeling Matt. He's actually more pro Angela, as is Chemo, as is Quinn. Like they're being very reassuring to her, as they were last night. They're being very protective because, Tucker was like, she's a mom. It's not like she's going to lie. And I'm like, moms lie all the time. People lie, but he's like, she wouldn't do that. So she has everyone at this point still, even if they didn't agree with the way it went down, they still feel for her. And Matt looks like kind of the bad guy. But unlike, the Taylor Hale season or other seasons where we've had someone attack another person in the house and that person not understand where it was coming from, the rest of the house doesn't seclude Matt. People go up to him, they show him kindness, empathy, listen to him, hug him. But Angela, she's still pissed. So she's walking around like, where's Matt at? He's in the back room with T-Core talking, which is interesting because he never talked to T-Core before this. And he had previously said, we could bring T-Core in if we needed to. She's a nobody. And now he's going to her for all the emotional support and security. And T-Core's being very nice to him. Angela walks in that back floating rock bedroom, lays down on one of the beds. She goes, right after she just eviscerated this man in front of everybody. He tried to, can I talk? Can I give? She's like, no, I don't want to hear you. You're shit. And he really couldn't get a word in edgewise. So he's crying to T-Core about, why would she bring up my mom? I love my mom, my mama. And Angela comes back and she lays on the bed like all cutesy. And she's like, you guys are in my room. How nice. It seemed very much like the bully at school who's just following you to the next class. Like, oh, you're in my classroom. It's like, well, technically your room is the HOH room. What are you talking about? And then T-Core says, can you give us a minute? And Angela goes, huh? Excuse me? What? I'm sorry? Huh? What? Huh? And T-Core goes, no, can you give us a minute? Angela goes, oh yeah, for you, T-Core, for you. So she still was not freaking having it with him. It seemed like she got to this point where she felt in Angela's head. I'm not saying this is the reality, but in Angela's head, she feels as though she took some crap from him, and she's not taking a crap from a guy like this. She's not going to let him talk down to her. She shouldn't have to feel bad about this stuff. Thank you so much, Anthony, for the Venmo. That was so sweet of you. Thank you so much. So she, so she's just like, So she feels like this built up overnight. She didn't sleep. Her head is racing, and she really feels like Mackenzie and Matt are building an army against her, turning people against her, just doing dirty stuff. So while this fight is going down, toward the end of it, she then brings Mackenzie back in, who was previously laughing in the bathroom and then came out and was like, oh. And says, and Mackenzie, you could do so much better than him. So again, she is insinuating that they are in a showmance, to which neither of them like that she's doing that. And she's already apologized to both of them for doing this previously, but now she's saying, I shouldn't have had to apologize to Matt. And then Matt goes, see, she's doing it again. She's making it look like she's putting targets on our back, like we're in a showmance. And she's like, I'm just saying, I think Angela's great, or I think Mackenzie's great, and she can do better than you. And he's like, we're not in a showmance. And then Mackenzie just falls apart. Now she's crying. So Angela's the 50-year-old mom from Utah who's a realtor, just has made everybody cry. All of Gen Z, whatever generation these kids are, have turned into a puddle with just her mere presence and words and accusations. They can't handle it. They're just like, and then Mackenzie goes in the unicorn room. Leah goes back there. Leah cries a little bit, but then there was this whole thing like Leah didn't care enough about Mackenzie and Matt. It's a whole thing. And Mackenzie's just like, why would she bring me into it? Ugh. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. So Mackenzie is then in the food storage. And I think maybe T-Core is in their Portola. She, they weren't talking to her before, and she's starting to pick up on like, oh, people weren't talking to me before, but now they're talking to me. Interesting. Okay, cool. Then here comes Angela in the food storage because she's not done. She's going to come from Mackenzie too. And she's like, Mackenzie, hi. Yeah. And Mackenzie's like, Angela ultimately tells Mackenzie, I know you guys have a big alliance that you're building. I know you do. And Mackenzie's like, we don't. She's like, I know you do. Okay. I'm a mom. And I know this. Okay. And I know when people, and you're lying to me, and I'm not going to let you lie to me. So then after she yells at Mackenzie for, having this big alliance and going after her and trying to like ruin this, ruin Angela's game. Again, Angela's in power. She has all the power this week right now. All right. I mean, granted, there hasn't been the POV competition. We haven't talked about that yet, but she made her nomination. She's not going home as far as we know, unless there's some crazy live eviction twist, which I don't think they would do. Don't put it past Big Brother. But she's just like, yeah, because Angela's thinking 20 steps ahead. She's thinking, okay, oh my God, everyone's going to come after me. And almost like it's going to happen though tomorrow. And she's doing the most, and it's entertaining, not great for her gameplay. So she walks on Mackenzie like, you're not going to lie to me. You're not going to lie to me, Mackenzie. I'm not going to let you. Mackenzie's like, what the? And throughout the rest of today, Angela, like I said, she had the sympathy after this fight from a lot of the house guests, which I was shocked. I thought for sure they were going to be like, that was unhinged. Now, Matt might suck a little, but that was unhinged. But then she goes to question people who are clearly on her side. Now she's like, I don't know if I can trust Joseph. And Chelsea hasn't talked to me all day. And so she went from a pretty good reaction from everyone after this fight that seemingly wouldn't be the best for her social game. Great fun feeds, but not the best thing to do probably game-wise. But recovered from it, to then just poisoning her game more and more by being like, and this person's not talking to me, and what are you looking at, and you're against me, aren't you? You're in this, and just accusing people of stuff, and they're like, what? Just unhinged. The tears. Cedric started crying because Angela was talking, but she's at that point of paranoia and spiraling and HOH-itis, where she is just talking, not really listening to what everyone else is saying. So as Cedric is talking, she's reacting to how Matt treated her, but it seems like she's saying it to Cedric. And Cedric's like, are you talking to me? Are you saying I was disrespectful? Me? And she's like, oh, no, baby. No, baby. You would never be disrespectful. You would never. You would, no, baby. No, they're in the kitchen. But then it's too late because maybe Cedric's tired and needs a little vitamin D. And so he's like, she's like, why are you crying, baby? He's like, I want to think that I would hurt you. And it was just a mess because, yes, he's a sweet kid NYC girl. Amalesh, thank you so much for the super chat. Amalesh says, haven't watched BB yet, but came here to say hi. Hello, Amalesh. Hopefully you're having a great day. Powell says she put up a gay person named Chemo on the block. I mean, not the best choice, Angela. RT says, I'm sad. I really wanted Angie to last. I did too. Now, here's the thing though. Angie could last. Maybe not as long as she would have liked, but she's painted a huge target on her back. And she's definitely someone that a shield people can hide behind. So I think the only person that probably 100% wants her out is Matt. Everyone else, I think, would find a way to be like, oh, she's going to sink her own ship. Like, we don't need to take that thing down. She's probably going to self-evict. At this point, I'd say her biggest problem right now is not annoying the house guests to the point where they're like, F it, we can't live with her anymore. That's going to be her biggest obstacle, in my opinion, because strategy-wise, game-wise, I'd keep her in. I'd be like, dude, she's a mess. She is a mess. Like, she is sinking her own ship. She's definitely like people. It's kind of like the discussion they had last year regarding what's his name? What do I want to call him? You know, I'm talking about the doctor, the gay doctor from Washington. It's kind of like, do you want to keep him? He's a target. Like, you know, we can use him because he also was good at comps. Now Angela has won the first HOH. Or do we want to get rid of him? Ultimately, they made the decision to get Heisem. Sorry. Thank you, Joseph. My brain is like, so into BB26. And I'm like, who was on last season again? So it's similar to that. Not saying Angela's comp beast Heisem level, but I mean, she's won the first HOH and she's a target. So it's like, you kind of got to weigh those, you know, pros and cons. However, you guys are so smart. Everyone's a Heisem. Thank you so much. Yes, Lazy Boo says, remember, many Gen Xers are going through menopause. Just say it could be hormonal. You never know. You don't know. I think that sleep deprivation, remember Paloma last year, we've seen some cuckoo stuff with sleep deprivation. It's serious. Okay. Yes. And the comps seem more equitable this season, which we'll talk about. So her real obstacle, I think, is just learning to get some sleep and shut her mouth a little bit, because ultimately, if she doesn't, it's going to come to a point where she's going to burn so many bridges and annoy so many people, because the social game is the most important part of Big Brother. And socially, if someone doesn't want to be around you because you're a freaking nightmare to live with, they're just going to get rid of you. You know, even if it's not the best for their game, sometimes you'll push people to the point where like, I can't even live, you know, with this person. Paul says, not to bring her up. Was that her name? Paloma? What was her name? I think so. Elizabeth says, I wonder if she constructed this massive scene to create a divide in the house early on. I don't think this is strategic. I really don't. It's like, it's so unhinged. I don't think it's strategic. It's giving just paranoid, no sleep, unhinged. Also, you're bringing in, because that's the interesting thing about this game, the social aspect of everyone in this house. Every year when we have issues with racism, sexism, ageism, you know, sizeism, all the isms, people are like, why does that happen? It's because that shit happens on the outside. So whatever's on the outside, you're going to bring with you. So every negative experience in their life, everything that's ever happened to this person is now coming in the house with them. I know that seems very dramatic, but it's basically what's happening. It's a pure like psychology experiment. Like all of that, all of their trauma is coming with them. And now you're also taking away every vice they have to, hide, to mask that, to make themselves feel better, is basically stripped away. Unless it's food, I guess they got, a lot of food there, but your phones, your friends, alcohol, drugs. I mean, maybe you're a marathon runner. Maybe you need to hike and be outdoors a lot. Maybe you need your cats. Maybe you got a therapy dog. You don't have any of that in there. So everything that you think, your trauma, all this stuff is going to be right sitting, I feel like, on the surface for a lot of these players. And we see this season after season. And with Angela and with Matt, it seems like they are talking about, they're bringing a lot of their previous experiences and a lot of their previous prejudices or stereotypes. I don't know, that's not the right word, but their previous encounters with maybe men like Matt, or his previous encounters with women like her. It's all coming in there. So it's that's kind of what makes this show like great, but also biases. Thank you, NYC girl. That's a far better word. All their biases, all those things, all the chips on the shoulders. Okay. Elizabeth says, which is exactly why we love the show. Great point, Jolene. It's easy to forget this isn't day 2 for them. And it's not. It's like kind of like day 20 for a lot of these people. We're like, it's day 5, but they aren't getting the right sleep. They have no TV, nothing to take their mind off of anything. They're not, I mean, now they're allowed outside as of tonight. Cheers to that. But not going outside. Their schedules they're just on top of each other, basically. So Angela says, it might be an unpopular opinion, but I've been pleasantly surprised by Brooklyn. Angela, me too. She hasn't annoyed me once yet. Not once. So I'm trying to give everyone a fair shot here. Okay. If I have, we come in as fans with our biases too. If I have my qualms with people, it's because of what I've seen, like with Matt's attitude or something, but yeah, so it was just unhinged all day. Angela, so paranoid. Finally, she got called to the DR for a while, but everyone's just like, Angela, you have to lay down. You got to take a nap. She's like, yeah, right at 10 p.m. I'm going to bed. I got to do that. And they're like, yes, you have to lock the door and don't come out. They want to chain her to the bed like the Exorcist. They're like, Angela. And a lot of these people are still feeling really bad for her because a lot of them say she's a really good person. We like the person she is. I mean, Cedric was crying over this. A lot of the people in the house, I think they feel this because she is, they think she's so old. She's 50. Like, she is not old at all. But she's got grandkids she's a very young Nana, and not my mom, but grandma, I should say. But to someone like Cedric, she's a dinosaur. He's like, oh my God, that T-Rex, we got to protect that T-Rex. He was like, she's just older. And I'm like, yeah, she's 50. Okay, let's not pretend she's Jerry over here. I think even Rennie was older than 50. And so they feel like a sense of like protection to her. And Angela at her core is probably a big sweetie. She's just out of her element. And I think I know why she was never invited to sleepovers. Let's just say that, okay? Because if this is how you behave, I think we know why. There was a couple red flags when Angela was like, I could never go to a sleepover. I never went to camp. I never I think we're kind of seeing why. Yes, Sin Vincent. She's old. She's tired. Get off her lawn. Like they are acting like she is just freaking so old, and she's 50. She's like a baby. Like that's old in the house to some of these people, even though this cast is a little bit older than we're used to seeing. So it's just been such a messy day. So not even, forget all that. We still had a POV competition. So the feeds were down for hardly any time, and we had our POV competition. Now remember, on the block, let me send a couple of these pictures to myself while you're waiting. Hit that like, you guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on all the social media at Joleen Lunzer everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Okay, let me send some of these to myself, and we'll talk about. Let's talk about a couple of alliances that I got verification. Well, who knows now where those are going, but some of these screenshots are just insane in the membrane. Okay. Okay. So last night there were talk about the major the bigger alliances, I should say. Okay, here we go. Let's open up. Let's see. We'll just open this one. Someone made this on oops. Oh, maybe I have to stop. Someone made this on Twitter and I liked it because it was just a little variety of all the oh, I feel like I have so much to tell you guys, and there's just so much. Okay, so let's share this. Okay, so here's the two of them during this fight. All right, as far as the alliances go. Oh, I even made I made a little thing. I forgot I did that. Okay, let me send this over to myself. There is the collective. So the collective is that big kind of, now who knows where the collective's at after everything that's happened. But last night they were discussing the collective. And by they, I mean Cam was, Cedric was, and Chelsea was. Okay. So here as of yesterday, or is that today? Or did I make this? Yeah, I made this today. So they were talking about the collective, which is an 8-person alliance that was Cam, Cedric, Joseph, Angela, T-Core, Chelsea, Chemo, and Quinn. So that was this 8-person alliance called the collective. That was the big one. Then there's the Pentagon, which is the core alliance, according to Cam, Chelsea, and Cedric. That's what they consider their core, and the collective is like their undeniable or whatever. And that's Cam, Chelsea, Cedric, Quinn, and Brooklyn. Now there are, Angela and Brooklyn did have a final 2. Quinn and Takor have gotten closer since my last update. They want to work together. Leah and Quinn started flirting, so we called that showmance. I think we did. So it's a lot. It's day 5. It's day 5. It's literally day 5. Robert says, "Hey, Jolene, glad to have caught up with you. This cast is a 5-star headache already." I was so entertained today, Robert. But we'll see how long that will last before it's just like, what? But I will say they are playing. They are playing. Killian makes a good point. If this is how emotional Angela is at the beginning, I don't know how much worse she could get later on. And she's just so paranoid. And yes, Powell, great point. Someone pointed out on Twitter that this whole fight went down on the same day on Rockstar's daughter's birthday when she confronted Brett, aka Brent, from outside the Big Brother house with Julie Chen Moonves. When she was like, "On my daughter's birthday, Brent? You gonna do me like that on my daughter's birthday?" So 2 iconic fights now. I would say this one much more iconic. Have went down with women. I think they pointed out mothers with glasses who are going after dude bros. Oh, thank you, Nappy Lion. Thank you so much. Archie says, doesn't Danielson remind you of Jerkson? We've been calling, for those who don't know, we've been calling Matt Danielson Karate Kid, and now I'm calling him Brody Jenner because he looks like Brody Jenner, and he's giving me Brody Jenner vibes through all these fights. A little bit. I don't want to put him in that bad of a category yet. A Jerkson category is very bad. Jerkson, Aqua Douche, any kind of comparison to them, I think we might have to see a little bit more. But yes, and they're both named Angela. Thank you, Kennedy. Thank you. So I would say just in maybe how cocky he was. So a little bit. We just said that because he looked like Ralph Macchio. To me, he looked like Ralph Macchio. And he had the jean on jean. It was a very 80s, fun time. And so that's why BB. Angela Clark Little says, "I can't believe I missed the beginning of this live. I've been waiting for it all day. I wish I could get text notifications. I should start a little text thing. I know a lot of YouTubers do that. I just don't know how. I got to figure that out. But that would probably be helpful." Tandar said, "Did we actually see the conversation they had on the live feeds or only Angela's staircase show?" I didn't see the conversation. So I don't know if I think this was a conversation that I don't know if it was on the feeds. I honestly don't know. I didn't see it. With this no flashback option, I literally feel like I have to have an AirPod in all day or I'm going to miss something. I'd constantly check Twitter, constantly check Reddit. Because before I could just be like, oh, look, see when stuff happened, like when I'm sleeping. Oh, let me go. Someone might have caught this. When was a good time? Or just go back to 2 a.m. and then play it. And I could also speed it up, which was so fantastic for covering the show for all these years. And now it's like, I can't speed it up. I can't flash it back. It just sucks. He does, right? He looks like wax on, wax off a little bit. Okay, so Ori said it happened before the feeds came on. So yeah, because I didn't see it. I haven't seen anyone else who said they've seen it. So that's the problem with not, I mean, we're always going to miss a little bit, but that's the problem with not having first night feeds. It just kind of sucks, They'll want Angela out, Haley, but will they want her out bad enough early on? Because we've seen people be problematic and stuff and still stay because they've basically created a target for themselves. So can Angela dig herself out of this socially? Because it wasn't horrible until she kept going. But people in this house still have a lot of empathy for her. So I think there is, just judging from some of the personalities in this house, I think there is a way for her to dig out of this. Okay. So, going back to the POV competition. So we had the POV competition. The feeds were not down, like I said, very long at all, which I was very surprised by. Angela was also doing this during the fight, which was hilarious. Okay. Because it's so ridiculous. When the feeds come back, everyone is wet and gooey, and they're talking about a competition where they have to spell and find letters and, go through the muck, whatever that competition's called, and spell words and find letters. And Lisa won. The Chef Boyar LA, Chef Boyar vibes over here, won and the POV. So you guys, this is crazy because we've been talking about how a lot of these challenges, a lot of these competitions through the years have not been equitable. They have unfortunately been leaned more toward the people who have a lot of upper body strength. You got to be really fit. Like, it was just kind of ridiculous. When you're going to have, if that's fine, if you're doing the challenge MTV and everyone is like around the same age, young and fit. But if you're going to have, old ass 50-year-old ladies, and I say that with quotes because they act like Angela's like 100, then you probably want to have a little more equitable challenges. So it's not always guys like Matt or guys like Cam or Tucker who are going to win. So now we've had 2 women, the first 2 competitions of the season, 2 women win. We've had seasons where it's taken until the end for a woman to win, till halfway through for a woman to win one thing, or a woman wins like 2 times. Maybe I'm being dramatic, but it seems like that. So the fact that we've had 2 ladies win, and we're talking the 50-year-old mom and little Lisa No en Casa, who is like 100 pounds soaking wet. So it does seem like maybe they've taken some steps to fix this issue that a lot of fans have had with their competitions, and with it just being, oh God, the 6-pack guy or girl is going to win it. You got to look like Casey from BB20 or something, or Tyler, to win these damn competitions. So Lisa was feeling herself, little chef Lisa. It's also interesting because Tucker and Lisa, 2 chefs in the house, which I don't know if we've ever had before. Yes, Powell, always taking it back, excuse me, to BB11 with Technotronics. Shout out to Jeff, shout out to Jordan. Sorry about losing your job, Jeff. We talked about that. They canceled the show he was on. So I'm sure he'll land on his feet, his whatever Jeff's got, his true religions. He'll land fine. But yeah, so Lisa and Tucker, both chefs. I don't know if we've ever had 2 chefs in the house before. Tucker is not feeling Lisa. Lisa is so LA. And if you know, and I think most people have an idea of like that, like LA, like vibes. You got to like stand in your power and put your feet in the earth, which a lot of that stuff, it's all fun and stuff. But if you have someone who's constantly like a Caitlyn, like, and I got like the stones and I got the goop egg and I put it in my oos, most of America's like, what did he say? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, someone that speaks strictly in astrology, someone that's just always talking vibes and feel and all this stuff. And so Lisa is, I don't think, I think she definitely stepped up her game when she got nominated because she wasn't talking game. And she was like, no one's talking game to me. And then she started hardcore talking game. But there's still moments where Lisa socially, um, it's interesting. She's fun. So I like Lisa, but I can see the house guests getting annoyed with her too, because they'll be making what appears to be a very blatant joke about something, and she'll go, no, yeah, no, I really have that. And they're like, okay, yeah, but no, seriously, if you hold like 7 crystals between your fingers and you put your feet in like organic dirt next to a Whole Foods, you'll be cured. And they're like, okay. So Lisa has that against her, and she's also, she's kind of, you know, she can be kind of short with people. I've noticed, maybe a little curt, which that's fine. That's fine. But how it reads, I think at times she's like, oh my God, I wasn't listening. I was just like enjoying my delicious Brussels sprout salad. Like I was really into that. So I don't know what you were saying. What were you saying? Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I know Reiki. Yeah, I can talk to your dogs, your dead dogs, your live dogs, so you know what I'm saying? She's one of those, which is entertaining, but I can already pick up on some people who are like Lisa. And Tucker was talking shit about her last night. He was in the have not room talking to Chemo, who's pretty friendly with Lisa, and I forgot who else was up there, and they were talking. He was just going off on, yeah, I was there. We were cooking, you know, and I gave her the 2 burners, and she gave me the 1 burner. I was cooking the chicken wings, and then I come back and she moved my chicken wings. I was like, what you move my chicken wings for? You know, it's like, she's talking down to us guys, like, oh, we got to cook for you. It's like, we know how to cook. So it's just this thing where these 2 chefs are, it's almost like we're watching, you know, Top Chef or something. They're fighting with each other at times. I don't know if Lisa's picking up on it as much as Tucker really is not enjoying her, which probably means they're going to end up in a showman's. Crazy Woman 1234, love your name. Thank you for the super chat. Very sweet of you. So yeah, RT says it's giving Caitlin BB20. It's going to be interesting watching Lisa's journey. Let's just say there will be issues. So Lisa wins this POV, which is amazing and huge. So the feeds come back, and everyone's kind of showering or taking their turns showering, and Angela is unsettled yet again. What is she going to do? Well, after this big blow up with Matt, she's like, I want to put Matt on the block, because before it was, don't use the power veto. Whoever wins the power veto, don't use the power veto. Keep the nominations the same. But Angela is so paranoid that even in the kitchen, when Cedric starts to cry because he thinks she said that he was talking disrespectfully to her, but she was like, no, not you, baby. Lisa is right there, and she was kind of putting out into the universe. Angela was saying, well, they could just like not use the veto to protect him or something. And I'm thinking, why would Lisa not use her veto to protect Matt, who I don't know if she really likes Matt that much. I mean, I'm sure she thinks he's okay, but I'm pretty sure she's good. So she's at this, paranoid spiral where she's even thinking, well, maybe they won't use the veto, and maybe, it'll, and I'm like, huh? This isn't making any sense. So Lisa clearly is going to use the veto. As of now, Angela is going to put Matt up, but the house, now seeing Angela's behavior, they're unsure if what'll happen in the next hour, if that'll change. Some of the house guests are even saying, like T-Core said this, a few people were saying, I have a feeling now she's just going to end up putting names in a hat and picking them out because she's so uncertain. And when she did decide on her first nominations, she needed people to kind of reassure her for 24 hours straight, and she's popping off already. So I don't know. I mean, Angela has since this all went down with Matt, and then she got into it with Mackenzie in the food storage. She has tonight apologized to Mackenzie again. And Mackenzie's like, yeah. Because Mackenzie too, she's on borderline, she's on the cancel train. She's basically on how long Twitter is chomping at the bit to cancel her already, but how long until she says something? There was already a couple things that people were calling out that she said, as Chemo and Leah were like talking, and I think Angela was there, and they were talking about, Chemo's LGBT Q journey, and talking about gay rights, and having a good conversation. And then Angela chimes in that, or I'm sorry, Mackenzie chimes in that she is, hopefully I was saying Mackenzie and not Angela before. Mackenzie was chiming in, that she's Christian and all this. And Leah was like, well, what I don't like about some Christianity is that, they're having these conversations they have in the house, because they're conversations you have outside of the house, that, they, are judgmental or not accepting of the gay community. And Angela was like, I'm Christian. I just think that Jesus cares more about the person than who the person loves. Now, some people were reading that as, I didn't read that as anything other than her trying to just maybe stick up for her Christian faith and say, well, here's how I think Jesus looks at it, and here's how I go against that. So it's like a whole thing. But between that and Angela, also, she was on the feeds, and she was, you guys, she heard that. So Angela shared a cancer journey. Like, I think she had cancer or something. I'm pretty sure. Again, without the flashback, there's stuff that I missed that I'm like, okay. So I heard Angela or Mackenzie talking to Matt about, and I'm always going to call Mackenzie Angela, or I'm going to want to, because she looks like an Angela to me, because she reminds me of Angela from BB20. But Mackenzie was talking to Matt, and she was like, yeah, they were like sharing these stories. Apparently Angela had cancer. It's like, it's like, how do these people, she was basically like, how do these people have all these things? Like, I'm just like a young woman. I'm 22. Like, how do you, and insinuating that they're using these stories, these like sad things, for their, for their gain, I guess, or sympathy within in the game. Again, I'm paraphrasing what she was saying here, but even as I was listening to it, I was like, Mackenzie, you probably just want to not comment on somebody sharing their cancer journey. You probably, I know you're 22, and this will be an interesting, hard lesson, but just be grateful that you or anyone you love hasn't dealt with anything like that, and move on. Because I don't think they were talking about like pulling on heartstrings or stuff. And I'm like, if someone shares their cancer journey, I don't think they're pulling on heartstrings. I think that's just like a really big deal in someone's life. So so the way she said it, I was like, so I think she definitely is, she's 22, and she thinks she knows it all, and she speaks as though she does. So that's not gonna, not saying that every 22-year-old. Heather Harmon says, I'm 22 and daddy lets me run his construction company. Oh, you're talking about, I get it. You're talking, not you, Heather. We're talking about Mackenzie. Because even though she said it's not her daddy's, I think. So yeah. She's like, I'm just a very privileged white woman from Texas. People have cancer. That's horrible. Not me. I wish people would stop talking about it. What a bummer. Stop talking about your cancer. It's such a bummer. It was giving that, where it's like, okay, you probably want to maybe feign empathy, like just practice in the mirror pretending, or just don't say anything at all. Between her and Leah too. Leah is, I was clocking, Leah was just talking. I'm like, and they're talking about the LGBTQIA journey, and I'm thinking, let Chemo talk. He did talk, but I feel like the straights were talking way more. And I'm like, all right, straights, can we hear the story from the actual gay person? But I'm a straight, and we love to talk. And when we're allies too, we love that everyone will know I'm an ally. Thank you. I am, just so you know, gay person, I don't think there's anything wrong with your gayness. Yep, that's me. A good straight. It was entertaining. The feeds have just been just so delicious, so deliciously tasty. But yeah, watching them kind of fight over who's the bigger ally, and then whatever Mackenzie was saying about what she thinks Jesus thinks was, just very very interesting. Connie says Lisa is exhausting. I mean, I think some of the house guests are going to agree with you. So, lesson of the day, Mackenzie might lack a little empathy, but my original point was that Angela apologized to her again. Mackenzie's like, okay, it's it's fine, but she's like almost dead faced when she's like, so Angela's like, I shouldn't have brought you into it. Mackenzie's like, I'm okay. We'll move forward because that's all we can do. Let's move forward. Angela's like, yeah. So it's only a matter of time before she then gets mad at Mackenzie again. So yes, Stephanie, hello, Jolene. I miss you. You're making me want to watch BB again. You should. Or just watch me. That's fine. It's fine. We'll keep you up to date. NYC Girl Forever says, I don't expect much from someone who came from people that decided to spell her name that way. It is an interesting way to spell Mackenzie, for sure. So now we have to look forward to the house guests. We're like, so do you think we'll do the POV tonight? It's like, no. Well, maybe tomorrow. No, it's Monday, baby. It's Monday. So now we have all day tomorrow to sit around and see what Angela will come up with. How Angela will be, unless she gets sleep tonight. You guys will have to tell me. I'm going to watch the feeds as soon as this live is over. But hopefully Angela's in bed. And hopefully she's sleeping. And I would have hit her with like a 30 milligram melatonin. Okay, will that kill you? I don't know. The most melatonin I've ever taken is 10 milligrams, and that knocked me out. But I would hit her with some Benadryl, some NyQuil, 30 milligrams of melatonin, and then hold her down physically. Sing to her, make ocean sounds, maybe rain, wind, something to make this woman fall asleep. Because if Angela doesn't sleep, I don't know if this is going to turn into like American Horror Story season of Big Brother. On a side note, we have our two house guests, T-Core and Tucker, who both have gay parents. I think they're the only people in the house who have gay parents. And that's one of the storylines. Like, I got a gay dad. I got two gay moms. Ooh. But they've actually, I will tell you, Tucker, he talks a little weird, and he does these little, he's always going like this, like, and his body positioning is interesting, but he isn't annoying me as much as I thought he would. And him and T-Core were having a great conversation and talking about how they, how she studied abroad, and Tucker was saying, okay, some people say I talk about myself a lot. I don't want to bring this up. I was the first male model in my agency's history, when I was younger, to do Milan Fashion Week, to go, so, and then my dad, we rented a car and we drove around, and Takar's like, oh my God, that's crazy. I was in, Germany or wherever. He's like, this is the guy's name, Walter White. You can look him up. He was really the designer. It was Calvin Klein. I modeled Calvin Klein. But that's how he's like, that's how he is. I don't know why he does it. But if you see like his modeling pictures, they're very beautiful. But maybe he wants to be taken seriously now that he's older in the modeling industry. So he's like, I got layers. I'm like the, mafioso or something. I don't know what he's doing. But if you do look at Tucker when he's not making those faces, you're like, oh, that is a beautiful model-like dude. But he's like, Angela, if he talks to you like that, I'll wreck it rough on his face. He tried to talk to me when I was taking a dump. And I was like, hey, I'm not afraid of that guy. Okay, Tucker. Okay. But it was interesting to see him, and I assumed that Tucker would side with his dude bro friend. That they would be dude broing. Brett and Winston, all the dude bros of the past that I don't want to remember right now. But he's like, he wants to talk to T-Core. He wants to talk to Angela. He hates this dude. And I'm like, okay. Maybe. Dude, bro. Paula says, that's a beautiful man with dandruff. Not dandruff. Paula. Someone on Twitter also created this, which I thought was so great, which I think should be Angela's new card. It says, your words are shit, Matt. You should put them in your ass. I think she also said his words were diarrhea. It was a lot. But T-Core has been serving looks in the house. And if this is a hat she crocheted, which I'm assuming it is, that is cute. I'm sorry. I grew up with Blossom. Okay. Anybody's guess. Get all their friends. I don't know what. Bag up your I'll give you a piece of my mind. I think that was the song from my maybe. The sun is gonna surely shine. So I don't know. I like a bucket hat, and she's serving looks, looking super cute. And if she crocheted that hat, props, girl. Chemo is just trying to survive. His back hurts. He's on slop. Angela was rubbing him down right after the big fight. She was like, "Let me rub Chemo down." So they just had a shot of Angela in the HOH room, bent over Chemo, just looking like they were doing something else. Angela's giving a lot of back rubs, okay? But Chemo is just like, "What's going on?" Here's one view, but they had the other view through the bathroom doors from behind. So she's been giving a lot of back rubs. I think she gave one to Lisa too. But poor Chemo, people love him. So socially great. He is starting to talk more game, but he's just like, trying to ride the wave of Angela's emotions. She wants to keep him, but she put him on the block. So there we are. There we go. Gangster mommy is like, "Give it to me." Yeah. So it's just been an insane day. There's our little friend Tucker here. But the big takeaways are Angela continues to lose it with paranoia. She popped off early on this morning and had a very entertaining house meeting where she just accused Matt of threatening her. The house was behind her despite this big, most of the house, I should say, this big, abrupt, dramatic 8 a.m. Fight. I mean, a big brother woke them up super early. It's like they knew Angela wasn't sleeping. They're like, she was talking in her sleep, making plans. They're like, let's get her going. Let's get her going. And she had the house guests, kind of a lot of them on her side, even after this fight. But then she, with paranoia with other people, she continued to kind of dig a hole for herself that she now has to get out of. And she has these moments of clarity where she's like, "Okay, I'll get sleep, but I think the damage is done. I think I've done a lot." And they're like, "No, just go to bed, Angela. I don't know, but it's still gonna be that I did this." They're like, "Yeah, but maybe get some sleep." "Yeah, but I mean, I've already said all this stuff." Matt cried a lot. Said he's not like that and that he did not threaten Angela, which he said I didn't do. She brought up my mom, man. She brought up my mom. Him and Mackenzie continued to decide whether they're going to get close, what they're going to do. Maybe you should do your own game, Mackenzie. And she's like, she's kind of like she's going to fight for him. Leah and Quinn started to flirt. The POV competition happened. Like I said, Lisa won that. Now, most likely, Angela will, she will renom. And as of now, she says it's going to be Matt. Matt's a big crier. Cedric cried today. Lots of tears. Lots of tears. So where's Mama? Not where's Mama, like Jackson. I still think Frenchie's HOH was worse because I found Frenchie insufferable. I don't find Angela insufferable yet. I'm here for this entertainment because it's not insufferable. I don't think it's completely unwarranted. I think both her and Matt have made social mistakes in this game and with each other, and it came to a head. So there we go. How do they go days without sleeping in there? Is there something in the air, P. Scott? I think it's a lot of anxiety. When you break, your own routine, your own, cycle. I just think it's that anxiety amongst other things, the cameras, the lights. Yeah. So, okay. So you agree that, Frenchie's NYC girl says, yeah, I agree. Frenchie's was worse too. Heather says he's crying. He knows he's going up, still a hard decision. I don't know if they're drinking Red Bulls in there, BB. Amy says Matt needs his mom's in the BB house. He's like, my mom's not going to know if I'm okay. And I'm like, don't worry. I'm sure someone will tell her. He's fine. I don't think she's, I don't know. Who's your favorite emerging player so far and why? Tondar or Tundar? Great question. I am very much loving some of my favorite players for entertainment value. Angela. I mean, this has been very entertaining so far. Okay. But I really love T-Core. I really love Quinn because I like that energy. I like Chemo. I like that Chemo's starting to play a little bit more. So I would say T-Core, Quinn, Chemo. Let me pull up my graphic here because I gotta remember who the hell's on this cast. Okay. Joseph, I'm kind of liking Joseph, and I do hope that he now is going after Matt kind of threatened him. So I would say my faves right now, I really like Joseph. I like Quinn. I like Lisa. I think she's entertaining for now. Chemo. And who else did I say? Angela. Yeah. People I'm entertained by still, but they're not my favorite players. Mackenzie, Matt. Kenny's not really giving me much, so I'm not interested in him. Cedric is a little young cutie, and he is playing the game, but he's not one of my faves, but I don't dislike him at all. Rubina is a cutie. I want to see more from her. Cam, just like Chemo, finally started to speak on the feeds, and he seems like a nice guy. Too soon to tell. Leah, I want to root for Leah, but the like usage is just too much. Chelsea, I'm liking Chelsea, and Brooklyn is not annoying me too much yet. So right now I'd say I'm team Chemo, Quinn, T-Core, and maybe Joseph and Angela. Those are my faves. Hopefully that was that answer will suffice. Yeah, Chelsea does seem great, but I'm just not that invested in her. Connie says my pick is Quinn or Brooklyn. Yeah. I think there's a lot of great house guests. There's a lot of great potential, which normally by day 5, I'm like, we're screwed. It's over. I think we still have some potential for an entertaining season and also somewhat strategic. Maybe if it's not the best strategy, it's at least a strategy. RT says your pick is Kenny. Kenny, when that fight was happening, I was watching Kenny because I was like, I want to see what the cop does. And it seemed like he's kind of, like assessing the situation, but he was definitely very anti-Angela in that fight. He's just like, oh. But Kenny, Kenny's on the block. Kenny didn't win the power veto. He's going to have another chance, I believe, to take himself off. But he's not. The problem is they're playing, but it's, some of the plays they didn't even pick players for the veto yet. And they're like, will you vote? Will you not vote for me? Will you vote for me to stay? And it's like, we haven't. Why are we going all the way to there? So you had Kenny approaching people he didn't even have a relationship with yet, like Lisa saying, but you'll keep me. And she's like, and I'm sorry, was it Lisa? Because she's on the block too. Then you have people who can't vote. So it's a mess. It's a mess. So, Colleen, we see each other. It'll be in 90 days, Michelle, the final. So 90 days from whenever the first episode was, which was Wednesday. So it's a 90-day season. Mm-hmm. They already, little Cedric already clocked that Kenny is an officer or some kind of army or a firefighter. So thank you, Joseph. So there you go. Sorry, I didn't give a good answer. I'm like 90 days. I'm like, I don't want to do the math on that, even though would it be that hard, Jolene? Maybe. October 13th is the finale. Right before Halloween. We're getting to the burrs soon. September, October, November, December, my favorite times of year. Connie, yes. Angela needs a trazodone. She needs a trazodone. She needs what's that one that starts with the A? Is there one that starts with the A that they give people to calm them down? I don't know. She needs a Xanax. She needs a Klonopin. They just need to give her like a cocktail of something and get her to rest because her brain, it's like, you're not sleeping like that. Your brain is getting poisoned. It's bad. All right, you guys. So if you haven't already, go check out my parody I did of Angela. Hopefully you guys like it. You've left so many great comments. You guys are hitting the like on that. I appreciate that. Please hit the like on this video as well. And please comment after the video post, because I don't get to all of your comments in the live chat because I'm blah, 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 blabbing away. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about the game. Never worry about commenting too much. Just comment away so that I can go and read them and like them and all that stuff. Yes, Adavan. Thank you, Adavan, my husband. I hear my husband talk about Adavan before, so that's how I knew about that. So yeah, follow me on social media at Joleen Lunzer everywhere. Also, shout out to my super chatters and new members. Thank you, Dana, Amalesh, Crazy Woman, and Crazy Woman again. Thank you so much. Crazy Woman said, so thankful for you, Joleen. You make BB even better. Kind of glad you lost your job. I'm glad I lost my job now too. You guys, it's almost a year since I was displaced from my corporate job of 16 years and decided to go full time as a content creator and comedian. And I'm loving it and hanging out with you guys. And it makes me much more available for Big Brother as well. It's just a little harder now because I'm going to keep saying it. Bring back the flashback option. Could someone make a, what is that? One of those petitions so that we can get the flashback option? It's like, what are you doing to us, Paramount? Okay, I'll stop complaining. You guys, I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be live after the episode, and I'll probably do a live before, depending on what happens on the feeds, and they'll probably pop off because that's what they've been doing. So until next time, you guys, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Bye.
If you like what you see.